Hello, everyone. This is Kelly. I want to start by asking you a very important question. How dense are you? Because the answer to this could save your life. I want to start and illustrate this issue by a tale of two friends. And let's start with Lisa. Lisa is a mom, a wife, she's a sister, a granddaughter, and my dear friend. In 2011, Lisa found a lump when she felt a lump. She went in and her mammogram was normal, her ultrasound was normal, and they told her to go home. She didn't have breast cancer, but something just didn't feel right. So she kept pursuing it, and after talking to a friend who was a radiologist, she further learned that she had dense tissue. She went on to get more testing, and by the time they found her tumor and removed it, she not only had breast cancer, but it was a 9-centimeter tumor. That's huge. And what that shows is she had cancer for years. It just was missed on her mammogram because she had dense tissue. By the time they found Lisa's cancer, she was stage 4. It had spread to her lymph nodes. It's now in her stomach and her liver. And Lisa is a dear friend. She has a strong faith in God, and she continues to inspire me every single day. I'd also like to introduce you to my friend Shannon. Shannon and I have been besties for years, and I teach about breast density in my classes every chance I get because it's such an important issue, and I'm a survivor. So, breast cancer is, the whole idea of prevention is huge for me. Well, she was in my class less than a year ago. We had the discussion about density, and she decided, maybe she should get further testing and look into this a little bit more. Sure enough, she found out she had dense tissue, she had a tumor, she had breast cancer, and by the time they figured this out, the cancer had already spread to her lymph nodes and her liver, so she too is stage 4. We have got to stop this from happening. Women, we need to be educated on what breast density is, what it means to you, and we need to spread the words to our sisters, our daughters, our friends, our mothers. So let's talk about what breast density is, and I'm going to share my screen to make this easier to understand. All right, as I mentioned, knowing your breast density can save your life. Who has dense tissue? 40% of women of mammography age have dense tissue, so 40% of us, that's high. How do I know if I have dense tissue? Well, this is key because a lot of women think, well, if I can't feel it, I don't have dense tissue. That is not true. The only way you can tell if you have dense tissue is through a mammography. And this has been the issue for years. Well, let me go a little bit further. I want you to look at the chart in the lower left. You'll see the 4 categories of density, and you can see the lowest density to the highest density. Gradually, it looks like a whiteout. So if you have dense tissue, when they read your mammogram, it's like this blizzard whiteout that can block them from seeing cancer. And that's what's been happening because mammograms aren't, when they're not picking up cancer in women with dense tissue, just because the mammogram report says nothing does not mean that cancer is not present. What it means is they can't see it. That's a completely different thing. So this is why it's important for you to know your density. You need to know if you're A, B, C, or D. These are the 4 names. And thankfully, because state by state we're passing legislation, your density should start to be printed on your mammogram report. But don't wait. If it's not being printed yet or you don't find it on your report, call and find out. You need to know what stage you are. The A and B are considered not dense, but stages C and D are considered dense, and you need to talk to your doctor about getting further testing beyond the mammogram and work with them to figure out what that is. It's not always necessarily a 3D mammogram either. It can be an ultrasound and potentially, most likely, an MRI is what's really going to be needed. But work with your doctor on this. So just to repeat, if you're stage C or D, work with your doctor to find out what further testing is needed just to rule out breast cancer. Now, why is this important? Why is it important to know if you have dense tissue? 2 reasons. Number 1, Obviously, like I showed, it's harder to detect. So you could have cancer and a mammogram won't pick it up. So you need further testing. Reason number 2, you are at an increased risk for breast cancer. If you're in that top density category, your risk for breast cancer is higher than if you had 2 sisters with breast cancer. So we need to spread the word, work together, understand your density, reach out if you have questions. I'm happy to help. And I'll scroll down here to give you some more information. We need to get screening, we need to get educated, and we need to teach other women. So get screening, get your mammogram, find out if you have dense tissue. Get educated. There's a great website that I've listed here, densebreastinfo.org. And then if you are dense, work with your doctor for more testing. And then we need to teach. We need to teach each other. We need to teach our sisters and our friends and our daughters to be aware. So I hope this is helpful for you to understand the issue of density. You know, we're in the middle of all Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this is key. I also will give you just a few tips for prevention. I developed my whole business after I survived breast cancer. My whole business is wrapped around health and prevention. So one of the risk factors for breast cancer is increased weight. You need to be at a healthy weight. So you need to exercise and you need to eat in a healthy manner. And what does that look like? It's exactly what I teach in my program. You need to eat a balanced diet of whole foods, lots of fruits and vegetables, small meals throughout the day, not 3 large ones. And you need a balance of protein, fats, and carbs. You want your blood sugar balanced. All of these things help your body to work and function in a healthy way. Limit alcohol. Alcohol is another risk factor. Obviously, smoking. But those are just a few things and a few tips to keep mindful of prevention. And I hope this was helpful. And I can't talk about this enough. And I will keep shouting it from the rooftops. So we can help each other. We can get educated. We can stand arm in arm. And we can prevent breast cancer. Thanks, everyone.